Breaking news! The buzz out of Dove Valley is getting louder, and trust me, this isn't your typical off-season hoopla. Something's happening inside Broncos camp that has the coaching staff excited, the veterans focused, and the rookies already pushing the pace. I've got exclusive insights straight from the first round of OTAs, and what I'm hearing could signal the beginning of a serious cultural shift in Denver. We're not just talking about optimistic projections or recycled hype. We're talking about key players making real noise, new names already shaking up the roster, and leadership emerging in ways that have surprised even insiders. Before we dive into what's really going on behind closed doors, and I promise you'll want to hear it all, hit that like button if you've already yelled "Go Broncos" loud enough for the neighbors to hear. And if you've been a fan of the orange and blue since the Elway days, leave a comment saying, "Go Broncos." My heart bleeds orange and blue. Let's go, because what I'm about to share with you could change the way we see this team going into training camp. Now let's get straight into it, because the first round of OTAs is wrapped up, and already we've got a list of clear-cut winners and some early concerns to keep an eye on. Top of that winners list, quarterback Bo Nix. And Broncos country, it's becoming more and more evident we might be witnessing the rise of something special. Bo isn't just showing up to OTAs, he's showing out. From the field to the podium, his confidence, command, and leadership have taken a huge leap forward. He's no longer the rookie feeling his way around. He's stepping into that franchise QB persona. Whether it's effortlessly spitting out play calls, dissecting Vance Joseph's complex defensive schemes, or taking time to walk through routes with Courtland Sutton, Bo Nix looks and sounds like the real deal. The energy around Bo is contagious. Zach Stevens and others out at practice couldn't stop talking about how much more developed he looks. And when even Sean Payton is highlighting that Bo looks like a completely different player with just 1 year of NFL experience under his belt, you know things are moving in the right direction. Oh, and for those keeping track of locker room vibes, Talanoa Hufanga, yes, that Talanoa Hufanga, credited Bo Nix as a key reason he signed with the Broncos. When your quarterback is attracting talent, you're doing something right. Speaking of Hufanga, let's pivot to another winner. The newly signed safety has already made his presence felt. His first impression of the Broncos defense under Vance Joseph? One word, aggressive. That's music to the ears of a player who lives for contact. Broncos inked him to a 3-year deal worth $15 million per year, and despite a recent injury history, there's no doubt about the kind of fire he brings. This guy models his game after Troy Polamalu, and when he described football as free violence, it gave everyone chills. This defense might be cooking up something special, and with Joseph's vision and Hufanga's instincts, we could be seeing the emergence of a bruising, physical secondary. Now, not everyone walked out of OTAs with rising stock. Trey Greenlaw, for example, didn't even show up. Look, we get it, he's rehabbing from a torn Achilles, and it's May, not September. But still, with so many new faces and defensive installs happening, his absence was noticeable. On the flip side, Alex Singleton was out there in individual drills and looking like his old self, laughing, moving well, and bringing that veteran energy. If both Greenlaw and Singleton get healthy and synced up in time, we could be looking at one of the most formidable linebacker duos in the league. But for now, Greenlaw's MIA status puts him on the let's wait and see list. Another name drawing mixed reviews is Caleb Lohner. The towering 6 feet 7 inches former basketball player turned tight end prospect only had one real season of college football under his belt, and so far, the only feedback coming out of camp is, well, that he's really tall. That's not exactly the glowing scouting report you hope for. Contrast that with Evan Ingram, who's been tearing it up during OTA sessions. Ingram's chemistry with Nix was immediate. He caught the first pass from Bo and has continued to flash as that dependable, short yardage option over the middle. Lohner, meanwhile, is raw. He's got tools, but unless we start hearing more about his actual performance, not just his height, his path to making the roster could be a steep climb. Lastly, let's talk about R.J. Harvey. Broncos country, the hype is real. This kid might be the surprise gem of the draft. Everyone at OTAs is raving about him, and it's easy to see why. He's a bruiser with a low center of gravity and a tank-like frame, earning the nickname Quadzilla for a reason. The coaching staff is especially focused on refining his pass-catching skills, and while he's not elite in that department, he's definitely serviceable. With running back depth a bit of a question mark, Harvey could very well find himself vying for that RB1 spot by the time week 1 rolls around. He's got the opportunity, the build, and now the buzz. If you're not keeping an eye on Harvey, you're missing out. So Broncos fans, that's the early snapshot after round 1 of OTAs. Bo Nix is leveling up fast, Hufanga and Joseph are building a no-nonsense defense, and young talent like R.J. Harvey is turning heads. At the same time, guys like Trey Greenlaw and Caleb Lohner have some ground to make up, but the vibe is clear. This team is building something. Now I've got to ask, what do you think about Bo Nix's development and his impact on the team's momentum heading into the summer? Is Bo Nix really the guy who can take us to the promised land? That's the question echoing through Broncos country right now. And honestly, there's plenty of reason to believe he's on the right track. The leadership he showed during OTAs wasn't just about command in the huddle. It was about connection, detail, and trust. When you see your quarterback pulling aside a veteran like Cortland Sutton to fine-tune route timing, you know you've got someone who's not just reacting, but orchestrating. And what's even more encouraging is that this isn't just a manufactured storyline to drum up off-season hope. The praise is coming from every corner, players, coaches, media members, all pointing to the same conclusion. Bo's mental game has taken a huge leap. That kind of growth, paired with his improved mechanics and comfort in Sean Payton's system, could very well be the catalyst for a real shift in Denver's offensive identity. But Bo isn't doing this alone. One of the most exciting aspects of these early sessions is how the rest of the offense is starting to fall into place around him. Let's not overlook the chemistry starting to brew between him and Evan Engram. Engram is no stranger to putting up numbers, and he's showing early signs that he can be a high-volume target in this system. He's the perfect safety valve, a tight end who knows how to find the soft spots in coverage and move the chains. For a young QB, that's gold. And if Engram can stay healthy and productive, this duo could become a real headache for opposing defenses. Meanwhile, in the backfield, R.J. Harvey's momentum just keeps building. What's special about Harvey isn't just his physicality, it's how coachable he seems. Sean Payton is the kind of coach who thrives with moldable players, and Harvey is showing flashes that suggest he's ready to rise to that challenge. He's not a finished product, especially in the receiving game, but he doesn't have to be, at least not yet. What he brings is toughness, vision, and an edge that this team desperately needs in the running game. On the defensive side, the aggression theme continues to ring loud, especially under Vance Joseph's guidance. Talanoa Hufanga's endorsement of the defense as aggressive isn't just lip service, it's a glimpse into what this unit could become. A defense with attitude, speed, and physicality. Hufanga is bringing not only skills but also a mindset that perfectly aligns with Joseph's scheme. When healthy, he's a playmaker capable of flipping the momentum of a game in a single snap. If the secondary finds its rhythm, and with pass rushers up front bringing heat, this defense might not just be good, it might be elite. But let's not sugarcoat everything, there are still some glaring unknowns. Trey Greenlaw's absence, while understandable due to injury, does leave a gap in the evaluation process. The coaching staff is clearly optimistic, and there's no need to hit the panic button just yet. But it's also true that availability is key, and Greenlaw still has a mountain to climb to prove he's back at full strength. The potential of a Greenlaw-Singleton duo is exciting on paper, but paper doesn't win games. We need to see it in action. And then there's Caleb Lohner. It's never easy for a late-round project player to make an impact right away, and that's especially true for someone transitioning from a college basketball background. The physical tools are there. He's tall, athletic, and intriguing, but there's a reason we're only hearing about his height and not his catches or blocks. It's going to take time, and in a league that doesn't wait for anyone, time isn't always on your side. Still, there's a belief that Sean Payton's history with converting athletes like Jimmy Graham into productive weapons might just come into play again here. Lohner has to soak in every rep, every piece of coaching, and show something, anything, when the pads come on in training camp. And that brings us to what might be the most exciting part of all this, potential. This team, while not without its question marks, is starting to form an identity. One that's young, tough, and most importantly, coachable. Whether it's Bo Nix commanding the huddle, Harvey bulldozing through would-be tacklers, or Hufanga setting the tone with his physical style of play, the Broncos are building something that feels different.